morning, Plum here, playing World of Tanks. As promised in yesterday's video, this is the multi-perspective KV2 OI Tier 6 Derp Fest. Hands up who likes derping. That's most of you. One or two of you won't, but most of you do. So anyway, here's myself. This is Taldrew. And this is Stenaldino. And we are platooned up. We're top tier heavies. And we're moving down to the southeast corner of highway when Taldrew has a bright idea and suggests we aim at these bushes where he's looking over this direction and put a couple of shots in. So he starts looking for the bushes. There they are. I start turning my gun around to look for the bushes. You can just see Taldrew to my right hand side. Stenaldino's just a bit further ahead. Now he's looking for the bushes, but he can't see them because I don't think his render distance is far enough on his laptop. So he's wondering what we're talking. He knows what we're talking about, but he just can't physically see them, I don't think. So this is Taldrew's perspective. He'll fire first, and then I'll fire, and you'll see my shot come in from the left-hand side. And are we going to hit something? Is the magic going to happen? I think we're counting down. 3, 2, 1, fire! Didn't time that very well. There's his. My one also rang out and managed to hit. Well, we didn't destroy anything anyway. We would have seen that notification come up. Anyway, Stenaldino and I, we continue to push towards the town to do a spot of shopping. Taldrew is going to have another punt, I think. He's going to think, well, it didn't work the first time, but maybe by now there is actually a medium tank out there, or maybe even a heavy tank at this interlude in the game. Throws one over the back, so we are still moving up. Now, Stenaldino's Sixth Sense just pinged off, and sure enough, there are enemy tanks. Loses his track. I think he tugs on the trigger then, and I take a shot as well at the T-150. We both miss. And then suddenly a nightmare scenario appears. A cheeky Cromwell is on a YOLO run, and Taldrew gets hit by artillery. Now I'm turning my gun around as quick as I can to start aiming at this guy, and Taldrew's going to start dropping down into the railway line where I'm aiming currently. We're taking a bit of a beating from this Cromwell, and poor old Taldrew's thinking, oh, this game is over. My shot misses because that's just RNG. It all balances out at the end of the day, doesn't it? Some you get, some you miss. And he perseveres. He keeps going for the reload. Luckily, because the Hetzer's there, which we do lose, that keeps the Cromwell nicely in front of him. Whew, panic over, but Taldrew has lost a lot of hit points. In the meantime, Stenaldino has managed to track and do some damage to a T-150 down there. Just manages. How often does that happen to you as well? You just get reloaded and the tank just moves away. I start pushing up. Trying to stay with Stenaldino because these two tanks, they're not very well armoured for heavy tanks. I put a shot into the side of that KV2. I get a better trade. He does hit me for 341. Taldrew tries to take a shot, but that fails and misses. We are going to get our fair share of misses. Now I have got Eagle Eye, so I can see what's been damaged. Stenaldino is going to push around behind that guy. Hopefully, I'm kind of waiting for him to turn up. Aiming down the road, I'm fully loaded. I'm thinking, come on, guy, push out, just push out. And I start to see him nudge forward a bit in a moment, and I think, oh, I'm going to get my kill shot here. In the meantime, Stenaldino is coming around behind him. He fires first. My shot also rings out, but my shot gets there a fraction of a second late. So Stenaldino picks up that kill. So they've got one kill each now. I'm still sat on nothing. When suddenly, from my left-hand side, a cheeky VK tries to take a shot at me, and somehow he misses me. I'm not even sure how that happened. In the meantime, while I'm chasing down the VK, Taldrew is thinking, I need to come back to base. He's got a funny feeling about it. Anyway, I'm going to engage in a bit of trading on the stock floor with his VK. So he shoots me for 147. I wipe him off the face of the map. I think that's a fair trade, don't you? I think in the meantime, Stenaldino has managed to pick up another kill. Taldrew is now heading back to base because he can see there's an enemy Hetzer and other tanks on the minimap suggesting there's more tanks coming from that direction. Myself and Stenaldino, we're still in the town and we're still now wondering what to do. There was a Chaffee spotted to the north of us, if you look at the minimap. We'll cut back to Taldrew. He's going to get a beautiful one shot on the Hetzer. Didn't stand a chance against being hit by that cannon. Now I'm thinking maybe that Chaffee was going to come back on us, but he doesn't. He turns around and goes back towards Taldrew, gets a dink. In town, Stenaldino can actually see him up the railway line. Let it settle. I don't think he even fully aimed that shot, and he's able to hit the Chaffee at that range. We give Taldrew a little bit more breathing room, who is on minimal health. I've taken some damage. Stenaldino has also taken some damage, so we've got a few battle scars. We're feeling like real men. And Taoju's got his sixth sense tingling again. He swears that there's going to be more tanks coming into town. In the meantime, the pair of KV2s here, we're having a little conflab, KV2 conference, thinking there's tanks spotted, but we're not sure because the 2 tank destroyers could be on that ridge opposite. If we go out across that open ground, we are just paint bullseyes on our faces and just shoot us. So we're thinking, well, the 88's got plenty of armour. Maybe he should be the one, this 88 here, to go across the map. He can probably take a few bounces while we could then focus on the TDs that are shooting him. So that's what gets suggested, that the 88 go and spot for the KV2s. It almost sounds ludicrous, but it's true. In the meantime, Taoju's put himself in a nice cosy spot. There are 2 artillery, so he's got this nice big building in front of him to try and keep him arty safe. And we are still conflabbing. We're suggesting the 82 do what we suggest. Eyes on the minimap. Things are about to kick off. So the enemy VK has turned up, and also the M4, and also the Jagdpanzer 4. So now we've got intel on 3 enemy tanks. He misses his shot. Suddenly the enemy T40 also turns up off Stenaldino's flank. He starts aiming at him, pulls the trigger, gets a lovely kill shot. That's another kill to Stenaldino. Taoju has got big trouble. He's got 3 enemy tanks all trying to get around him, so he's angling as best he can. The Jagdpanzer 4 decides to take a punt, damages his tracks, does some actual damage, but that's the last mistake he'll make in that game. Taoju puts one in his face, puts him down for good. Now I'm coming back up the hill, and also Stenaldino is right behind me, tracking me as I go. So not literally tracking, but you know, following me. We get some good angling here. He gets 2 tanks either side of him, and they both manage to bounce. Now I managed to put my first shot into the dirt, unfortunately, trying to take a snapshot at the M4, thinking Taoju needs my help as quickly as possible. Stenaldino lines up a proper shot, takes his time, more time than I took. I've managed to now reload. Taoju and our artillery managed to take out the other enemy tank, and suddenly crisis is over, and we've got 2 artillery to go looking for. So we're now feeling pretty safe that this game hopefully is in the bag. So myself and Stenaldino start heading across the open field, thinking, well, there's only 2 artillery left, what's the worst that can happen? Don't worry. Don't worry, it's all fine, it's all going to hopefully have a happy ending. I just need 1 more kill to get brothers in arms for the platoon. So we're all kind of hoping that that moment's going to occur. Is it? Will it? You'll see in about 30 seconds. Both the artillery appear almost simultaneously on the map, so I'll do some quick cutting here so it's all in real time. So Taoju's going to spot the FV first, any moment now. As soon as he does, he's going to turn his gun on him, and he's really close range, and he's not going to miss. I've just spotted the other enemy artillery. There he is. Taoju puts one in the face of the FC, kills him. I managed to just squeeze off this shot. I'll show you that again in slow motion because you'll see how close it was to missing. And that's Brothers in Arms, and that was a really good game in the heavy tier 6s derping around like idiots. We were giggling with joy at the end of that one, I can tell you, all suggesting that goes on the channel. And here it is. It's a self-fulfilling prophecy. Have a good game in KV2s and OIs, and it's going to make it. Right, let's go over to Taoju's post-game stats because he had the best game by far. Let's take a look. So here is Taoju's results screen, the best of the bunch. He gets first class mastery, a whole bunch of mini medals, steel wall, brothers in arms and Spartan. Team scores, it's a clean sweep at the top, sorted by damage, the 3 of us, sorted by kills, the 3 of us, and sorted by damage done, the 3 of us. It's the absolute pinnacle of World of Tanks platooning. It doesn't happen often enough, but it's damned hard to achieve actually, get all 3 of your platoon at the very top. So it worked out really, really well. We started the game on top and we finished the game on top. As you can see from his detailed report, he fired 9, only had to connect 5 to make that game happen, but what an important 5 to connect they really were. A very good result. We were all really, stoked to have that game. We had a couple of other good games that evening as well as a platoon, but that was by far the tastiest result of the evening. Happy to bring it to you on the channel. No time for a tank window today, I'm afraid. I've literally got to go out in 10 minutes time, so the less editing I have to do, the better. And this has been a pain in the butt to edit, I can tell you. But each time I do one of these, it streamlines the whole affair and it gets a little bit easier. Anyway, that's tier 6 derping. Most of you will have loved that. A couple of you would have hated it. But that's the game we play, isn't it? We all love being KV2 King of the Hill sometime, and that game it all clicked. You just play enough KV2 games, you're going to get one that actually clicks, and it's all just going to go your way. Although saying that, in that game not everything went our way. We missed quite a few shots. RNG seemed to be rolling pretty fairly in that game. We'd miss some, we'd hit some. It seemed to spread it around our platoon quite nicely. So thank you, RNGesus. We worship you daily. Thanks for watching, everyone. Hopefully new videos coming very soon. Kaida Pow, have a good, what day is it today? Wednesday. Have a good Wednesday, and I'll play Water Tanks again soon. Take care. Bye bye.